Welcome to the Tough Decisions Network. This is your tip of the day. Be sure to visit toughdecisions.net to sign up for our free weekly entrepreneur email, where we send you news about the latest technology for your business, inspiring quotes, and the latest entrepreneur books. That's toughdecisions.net. Before we get started, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Have you ever thought about investing in real estate, but find yourself so busy that you don't have time for it? Do you have FOMO, which is the fear of missing out? At HanfordCapital.com, we help investors with passive real estate investments that project better returns than traditional investment vehicles such as the stock market. If you'd like to find out more about our passive real estate investments, visit HanfordCapital.com. That's HANDFORD capital.com. We will jump on a call with you to discuss your investment goals and to see if our investments are a good fit for you. This advertisement is not to be construed as an offer or recommendation to buy or sell a security. Visit HanfordCapital.com. Today's daily tip is brought to you by Taylor Loht, the host of the 7-Figure Sales podcast, which can be found on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit 7figuresalespodcast.com for more information. On today's episode of the Daily Tip, Taylor Loht is going to be covering the concept of not selling too soon. So Taylor, why do you say that you shouldn't sell too soon?
So in the sales process or in sales in general, I think it's very important to really understand where your prospect comes from and show them that you understand where they come from. And a big part of that is the discovery phase, which, if you've read any sales book, you're probably familiar with the idea or the concept of the discovery phase right up front, where you're starting to understand the problems that they have. You're asking questions, you're really getting on the same page with them and picking their brain, really, maybe guiding them a little bit toward the direction, but you're not pitching, you're not putting out your own value. And it's very tempting to say, if you're sitting down with someone and they say, well, I've got this problem. Well, boom, here's my solution. Say, write it down, move on to the next one, just keep talking about it. Because if you lead with your solution, then you kind of shut down the conversation a little bit. So, in say the real estate investing concept, if you're talking to someone who's a potential investor and they're telling you, what they like about a particular kind of investments, don't counter with, hey, well, here's what I like about multifamily necessarily. Ask, why do you like that? Okay, great. What don't you like about it? And just keep going down and write it down. And then you use that information later in the conversation with them. But countering their kind of information that they're giving you about what they like, what they don't like in the discovery phase with, well, hey, here's what I can do for you, or here's what my product or service does for you, doesn't really keep the conversation going. And it doesn't really show that you're listening to them. They'll get more of a feeling that you're listening to them if you're writing things down, you're bringing them up later, you're even bringing them up later kind of towards the end of the conversation. But really the key is listening, getting as much information as you can, and showing your prospect that that's what you're doing.
Thank you for listening to the Tough Decisions Network. Visit toughdecisions.net to sign up for our free weekly entrepreneur email. That's toughdecisions.net. Taylor Loht has compiled a short 7-page report called The Sales Growth Mandates, which is the top 3 most common themes based on the interviews from his own 7-Figure Sales podcast, where he has interviewed entrepreneurs and sales trainers in the real estate to tech industry and everywhere in between, with business valuations ranging from $3 million to $500 million. Download this free report now at 7figuresalespodcast.com/TD podcast.